Welcome to the Main Character Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Hamblin, main character of my own story. But this podcast isn't about me. It's about you, and all of you. Every person that has ever lived on this planet, all 8 billion people here now, all that came before us, and all that will come hereafter are the main characters in their own story. My aim is to interview people that embody living in their energy and discovering from their perspective what their perception of reality is like. Buckle up. You're about to experience the world through another main character's eyes.
So we're good.
Or your headset. Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, cool.
We're going to find out. I don't know. Clearly.
Yay.
Well, so part of the reason that I got this set up was so that we could record the drums.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, Gabe was in here recording drums, guitar, trombone, violin, something else, probably some vocals. And he did an okay job of putting stuff back together, except for that.
So did you guys talk about the number 33? Do we need to dive into that?
Okay, so the only magic.
Otherwise, segue into music was a good.
Okay, so we're going to touch on 33 really quick, and then we'll segue into music.
Okay.
So 33 is like my email address is bshamblin33. Gamer tag is still, I think it's Monkey Drummer 33. So music tie-in. But just like we did for 22, let's look up the spirit number 33.
Okay.
Also known as the master teacher number, signifies spiritual enlightenment, compassion, selfless service, encouraging individuals to uplift humanity and promote harmony.
Oh, cool.
Which is so fitting because, like, if I had to put a mission statement on what does Main Character Podcast do, it's that.
Yeah.
So it's very fitting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you looked that up before?
I think I have.
Yeah.
The way my brain works, somebody needs to study it. Like when I'm going to donate my brain to science or something because there's the folds up there are messed up.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at segue into music. I was in a band and we came up with all sorts of different songs. I couldn't tell you the name of any of those songs to save my life, including when I was with the band a decade and a half ago.
Yeah.
We'd write out our set list and I'm like, it's great, guys. No idea what any of that means. so there's something about the way that the information links in my brain that I know I've read that before. But couldn't have told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but
fine.
I was like, yeah, I know it's great. I don't remember why.
We put the important stuff. We save it where we need to. And
That's
then we're all
right.
like, there's no room for that.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, what is it? There's something like we take in 30 million bits of data a second, and our brain can only actually like use 2,000 of it. The numbers are way off, but that ratio is pretty close. So yeah, I mean,
I wonder how much our brain could actually absorb and use if it was healthy.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Like if it had all the nutrients, if it didn't have any toxins, if like on a physics level, if like on a cellular level, it was energized 100%. Like how much more would we take in? And like,
well, so a good example of that is, and I don't know what his health was, but Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Right. That man was like encyclopedic with the way that he could, that's this. And I'm pretty good with scripture references. He knew all of them. He knew all the different, constitutional stuff. He knew history. He knew, and he could just, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there was this thing in that time frame, and this is what it meant. Like, I know the punchline, but I can't get you the rest of the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that, he had a calling and a purpose.
For sure.
And so I think when we step into that calling and purpose, and when we know who we are and how we're designed to be, and we realize that, and then we align with that, how much more powerful is that, and can it be used?
That's so well said. Yeah. Well, and again, in re-listening to part of your episode, when we were talking about your practice, and you're like, it's not my practice.
Yeah.
It's God's.
Yeah.
And you're in alignment with that.
Yep.
There it is.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a pretty dang good job.
And then I'm like, okay. Okay.
well, and we were talking about hyperbaric, and we've been talking hyperbaric.
Uh-huh.
That's
Did
one
we
of the
talk
things.
about that on the podcast?
Yeah, you're like, that's the next thing I want.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, well, when? Well, God's timing, when he decides.
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Want all the things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And a sauna with infrared and. Yeah. It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I don't know why he wouldn't make that a part of the plan.
Because he has something better.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, but wouldn't that be cool?
That. Well, and
I don't know.
Every time I talk to my dad, and he's especially right, because he throughout his life has these waves of success and failure and success and failure.
Yeah.
And when he's in that failure phase, he knows how to climb out. He has what he wants.
Yeah.
But he never gets exactly what he wants because God has something better in store for him. And he's been such a good example of that in my life of, yes, you should be pushing towards better. You should be trying to achieve something.
Right.
But if you don't hit that mark, know that it's okay because you're getting something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. It really is.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, if he could just stay and not,
Yeah. But then there's no growth.
There's no growth. He's like, I'm really tired of learning the same lesson over and over again.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. Well, then have you really learned it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just getting it from a different angle. You're getting well-rounded in that growth. Yeah.
So tell me about music.
Music. Okay. So music's fun.
Yeah.
And that is the area of my brain that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Because I see the world through music.
Okay.
Whenever I'm trying to like make an analogy or something, I can tie it back to music.
Okay.
In like whatever the subject is. And I wish I knew why, because it's not like my parents didn't play instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest of 4, so I didn't have an older sibling that was doing that. We traveled a lot. And so we were always listening to music. Some of my favorite memories are being on road trips with my grandpa, and he'd be playing classical music or oldies. And especially if it was classical, he'd be directing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started taking after him and directing. And so a lot of my fondest memories are something to do with music.
Yeah.
In fact, weird, again, Brandon on his tangents. We were just down at Paulina Lake, which is about 40 minutes southeast of Bend. My family's been going there since my great-grandpa came right around World War II. So I've been told it was after, but it might have been a little bit before that. Anyways, been going there for forever, for generations. And for me and my grandpa, it was like our spot. And we just went in July, and we get a couple boats. My whole family is there, my siblings, my mom, my grandma. And the one night that I went out fishing with my mom and a couple of my brothers, my mom gets up and this tape cassette just is randomly like in the boat. And so it didn't appear like it fell out of her jacket, but reality says, right, that's probably the case. But it was one of those tapes that me and my grandpa listened to all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
And she hadn't put it in there. It wasn't right. So who knows? But it was just like, hey, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
It was really sweet. So, so that's my earliest memories with music. And then I was that kid that, when do I get to start playing an instrument? When do I get to start playing an instrument?
So what age did this all start?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, even as like a kindergartner, first grader, when they take you into music class and you're just banging away on xylophones, or they give you a couple sticks to smack together, I was in.
That's cool.
But then 5th grade, I think it's 5th or 6th, is when you can join band.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to play the sax.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they were like, no, we don't really let anybody start saxophone. That's a little bit more advanced. So you get to start with the clarinet.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was actually, I mean, it's fine, but it's kind of a girly instrument, really.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I think I did it for a year, maybe 2, and then I switched over to tenor sax. And in high school, they also had a world drumming class.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was playing djembes, doing a lot of tribal African music. And I was really interested in the drums. Yeah. And there's a drum set in the band room. And I remember going over and like after band would be over, I'd go start playing on it. And our director would come crashing out of his office. Get off of that. You're not a drummer.
Oh gosh.
And so I actually had recurring dreams or nightmares, however you want to put it, of that exact thing happening.
Oh my gosh.
Until I felt confident and proficient in my drumming years later, and then the dream stopped.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
But yeah, so did that through high school, did the pep band stuff, and picked up the drums. I ended up buying my own. I begged my parents. I wanted a drum set. They wouldn't buy it for me. It was coming up on Christmas, and I was like, they're going to give me a drum set. Come down Christmas morning. I'm 15, 16. There's a drum set for my little brother.
What?
It's a mini drum set. I'm like, what? He doesn't care. So I remember playing that and breaking it in about like
2 seconds.
Yeah, short order.
All your rage.
So we had moved. Oh, so I guess I bought my first drum set at 17. That's when it was, because we had moved up to Anacortes for my senior year of high school, which I was not a fan of. I was working at my dad's car dealership as a like lot boy / detailer.
Yeah.
And one of the older guys, it always cracks me up how people end up doing weird things in their life. And this guy had to have been at the time 30, and he's a lot attendant. So like some life choices.
Yeah.
And I love this man. His name's Casey. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But right, the long goatee and the bald head and the tattoos. And I'm sure he had a tooth or two missing. Just a rough guy. And he played metal guitar.
Yeah.
And so I'd go hang out with him, and he was introducing me to like some thrash metal and some other stuff, and like not my gig really.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was into it. And this is somebody that I could talk music with. So I was in.
Right.
And he took me down to buy my first drum set. It was $300. It was really a garbage drum set. But for me, it was
something.
Yeah.
And
I remember setting that up in my room in Anacortes. And this house was amazing. The bedroom was bigger than this room that we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
And my closet, I said this in Brittany's too, but it's worth repeating because I think it's hilarious. My walk-in closet was so large that I put my king-size bed, my dresser, and my big 60-inch, not flat screen, because back then it wasn't flat screens.
Right.
It was a big walk-in closet. But the pinnacle of my bedroom was the drum set that was right in the middle.
So all that was in your closet?
All that was in my closet. My bedroom, the main room was meant for music. And so I had a couch. I had Audio Slave and Nirvana and the Beatles and maybe Britney Spears, because I thought she was cute.
So you were either Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera.
Oh, and I was Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Were you NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC.
Oh, you NSYNC people.
Yeah.
Ray was an NSYNC person too.
Gay.
Yeah, kind of. Well, the joke was I came out of the closet every day. So kind of lines up that I might have liked Backstreet Boys more. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. And so him and I would play and gig, not gig, we didn't gig, but like I'd go over to his house and he'd have a whole thing set up in his garage.
Yeah.
And I'd jam with some guys.
Yeah.
And I remember trying out for a band at that point, and I went over to try out, and they were like, "You're not good."
So at this point, how old are you?
17.
Okay, still 17.
Still 17.
Okay.
And that was...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I knew that, but it also reinforced what the band director had said.
Oh.
And so I just kept working on it and practicing, and me and Gabe still play the drums probably every day.
Yeah.
They're not quiet.
Yeah, no.
No.
Which is probably why your parents never bought them for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, because you could be like 3 houses over and you can still hear what we're doing with the drum set.
Right.
So the neighbors hate what we do.
Yeah.
Let alone the people in the house.
Yeah.
My mom says she ended up loving it, which might be true because I'm her favorite and I get it. But
do your siblings watch this?
I hope so. I hope you guys know. They know I'm the favorite.
That's great.
So we get married young. I'm 19. Rachel's 20. But I still have the drums. I'm still working on them. And I was 20 or 21. I was 21. And we had gone to a motivational seminar.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said, if you want to be a painter when you retire, why aren't you painting now?
Right.
amazing. Like, it was like that
Yeah.
light bulb moment for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be in a band.
Yeah.
And I went home and looked on Craigslist, found them. And I think I was out trying out with them the next day or a couple days later. And we wrote our first song during that tryout. And we just, like, the band was born.
Wow.
And then within short order, that dream about my band director was gone.
Went away.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was that the last dream that you had when you were like in your 20s? About the band director?
About the band director, yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
they have not come back.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That is really cool.
Yeah, but I'm fascinated by dreams.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have become so immune to the spiritual around us and what else is going on around us that, I mean, it's throughout the Bible. How much communication from God comes in your dreams?
In dreams and visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've always had very lucid, very vivid dreams.
Yeah.
And so that was just a cool confirmation to me of, okay, that was bugging you, and you did the work to prove to yourself that that can go away now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah.
What's one of your most vivid?
Okay.
Or one that you're willing to share?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the first one that always comes to mind to me, because
Did you guys talk about this?
No.
Cool.
I love this.
Because here I am, all like, I don't want to just repeat.
Well, no, and then I'll be like, okay, I said those once, but for the sake of, so I'm not very good at recent memories. Like, it's a good thing that we have Facebook memories that pop up every day, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that thing. I totally forgot about that. But when I was young, I still have memories from when I was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And so one of those was 2 nightmares. One of them, I was in old school mall that nobody does anymore because they're all empty and not everybody shops online.
Yeah.
But we were at the Clackamas Mall down in Clackamas, Oregon, and it was empty, and it was night, and it was just me, and I was getting chased by a werewolf.
Nice.
And I ran into the bathroom, into one of the stalls. He corners me. I rip off his face.
Yeah.
And it was still the shape of a normal person's head, but it was like the static of a TV. And like, I can still see all the details of that dream.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what the heck that dream was about.
So how old were you when that happened?
Like 2 or 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the only time you've had that dream.
Only time I've ever had it, but it stuck with me. Another one right around that same time frame. We were living at my grandparents' house, and I had this really cool wicker toy basket, and I had dumped it out before going to bed, and my grandpa wasn't very happy with me for making a mess. And so I dreamt that night that it came to life, had little like feet underneath it.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It kept bumping against my bed trying to get to me. And so I jumped over my bed, run into my grandpa's room. This thing follows me, right? He jumps over it, goes into his den, opens up his gun cabinet, grabs a shotgun, and blasts this thing away.
Yeah.
I'm 2 or 3 with both of these dreams.
Wow.
And again, I can still, like, I don't know why those ones stuck with me, but I've had other, there's, I can't think of any like specific one recently, but.
Right. Do you write them down or keep track of them or journal or do any of that with them? Some people do.
I need to, because what I found lately is up until getting sick in June, I was still having very vivid dreams. And then they stopped.
Oh.
And I'm having them again, but I'm not retaining them.
Oh.
So normally, I wake up and I'm still in the thick of it.
Because of lack of oxygenation, because your lungs suck right now.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It probably is.
I don't know, but it makes sense.
And so I need to be, as soon as I wake up, I need to start writing, have a dream journal.
Yeah. Some people do recordings because they're not writers.
Oh,
or
that's a good idea.
It takes a long time to like physically write. So they'll pull out, especially when you're tired, right?
Yeah.
So you pull out your phone, just record it, and you just vocalize it.
That's a good idea. Which one do you do?
I don't do either one.
Oh, do you dream?
Not really.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If I dream, they're usually not good. And it usually stems from my subconscious.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they're usually tied to some kind of a fear or anxiousness or something going on. Yeah.
Okay. So that does remind me. I'm so glad that you said it that way, because I feel like I have 15, not recurring, but like the dream itself isn't the same, but I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
So that 40,
you're going to the same location?
Yeah. So the 40 acres that my in-laws had,
yeah,
they ended up losing that property.
yeah.
And so all of us still dream about that property. What's weird about my dreams is that it's almost the best way that I can describe it is what is my computer doing? Hold that thought.
Where's the IT guy?
Ah, there we go.
Oh, okay. There he is.
IT guy's on it. It's almost like an alternate timeline because they're still there. My father-in-law is still alive. And I'll dream of, like, if I was to dream about it tonight, it would just be a continuation of what I dreamt about 6 months ago or a year ago. So it's almost like I have this parallel dream reality.
Yeah.
And so I think when we get into all my weird, crazy beliefs, I think it's an alternate timeline, another that I'm just tapping into.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have multiple things like that where and some of them are like weird and out there, and I don't even know how to put context around it because it's all swimming around in my head. But I just know that I'm on a storyline that I just continue.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does yours compare to the other siblings?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, then how do you know that everybody dreams about the farm?
Well, so Rachel's siblings, all of that side.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about with the farm.
Theirs tend to be more nightmares or anxiety driven, or they aren't like mine. Rachel will wake up and
they all lived in that house, though.
They all lived in that house. Well, and we lived there. So we got married, we go up to Anacortes, we're there for short order, move back down to the property.
Yeah.
And we're there for a couple of years until we finally venture out on our own.
Do you think there was anything spiritual tied to the land?
Yeah.
You do?
For sure.
Yeah. Did you see anything? Now we're getting into like, what is that one podcast? Do you listen to that?
Maybe.
What is that? Crazy Creatures, Creepy. It's a Christian podcast. And they talk about all this stuff.
No, I should though.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Somebody told me about it like this year.
And
I've listened to a couple of them.
Amazing.
It's pretty cool.
And that sounds right up my alley.
Okay. Yeah, what have you seen?
So I haven't seen anything on that property. I've definitely had some weird experiences in some of the places I've lived. But that one I didn't, but I'm sure if I asked the family, they probably did. Because I know one of the things that I just watched this clip on Facebook of, I think he's a realtor, and it was a really damn good ad. But it's like from the Ring camera angle. Yeah. And you can see him and his bride coming to the house for the first time, just purchasing it. And he puts his hand on the door frame and he says, "Thank you for accepting us. Please take care of my family while we're here." And he just like kind of a little blessing prayer. Yeah. And then, it kind of fast forwards and it shows them doing stuff, bringing the baby home for the first time, kids running out it does this kind of montage. Yeah. And then it slows down and it's him with the last box as they walk out of the house, and he turns around, touches the door frame and says, "Thank you for taking care of my family." Yeah. And on the LDS side of things, because that's how Rachel grew up, that's and I think it's just in general, it's a very Christian thing. I think blessing the space that you're in is very important, setting it apart for God. And I know that they set that property apart to be a place to worship God and to raise their family. Yeah. And so I know they had a lot of spiritual experiences there. I also know, it's like really close to some Indian reservation land. It's very tied to that. So who knows what went on there before.
Or even around it.
Yeah. They had a lot of horses, and I think there's horse therapy, right? Like people will just go spend time and just groom or touch a horse. Yeah. Horses are magic. They're pack animals. They take on each other's emotions. They do the same thing with us as humans. And so they had a lot of experiences with that too. So yeah.
Interesting.
That brings up I'll have to deep dive into that with Rachel when I have her on. Yeah.
Even ask like your siblings too, because you thought that was an interesting question, like your siblings' dreams.
Yeah. And I need to. Well, okay. So I'm Brandon on a tangent.
Blurry creatures.
Blurry creatures.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. think that's the name of it.
Okay. I'll have
I'll
to check it out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because you brought up the point earlier that how much better would our memories and our brains work if we were
like healthy?
Healthy.
Yeah.
All four of us, my three younger brothers, we had, like, I grew up with mom and dad at home and everything was normal. And then it kind of went crazy for the rest of them. Yeah. And they were all addicts. And so I'm sure they messed with their brains in some way, shape, or form. So I am very curious to find out from them.
What's the age gap between all of you?
Gavin is 3 years younger than me. Andrew is 7 years younger, and Hunter is 15 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, big age gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all get along famously. And
have you guys ever talked about your experiences and perspectives on things within the house? Or like within your guys' household?
Yes. So because we moved around a ton.
Yeah.
And so we've definitely compared notes on, like, again, because I had mom and dad at home.
Right.
Right. And then I get married, and a year later, all sorts of hell broke loose. Andrew, the one that's 7 years younger than me, had an awful relationship with my dad. And they finally reconciled that this year.
Wow.
The one that Hunter, that's 15 years younger.
Yeah.
He was raised for the first 5 years, mom and dad. Yeah. Then he was with mom. Then he was with an aunt. Then he was with Rachel and I. Then he was, and then, I mean, so we definitely have shared, okay, what was this like for you? What was this like for you? Right. What's your relationship with this person like? What,
are you guys all very different?
Kind of. And what I mean by that is, he's a Hamblin boy. Like, okay, that is a thing. We're all loud. We're all, you can't get us to shut up.
Yeah.
We big personalities, but definitely variations on the theme.
Right.
So like Gavin has taken on, I tend to think of him and I as like co-oldest brothers.
Right.
Because
you left to get married.
Well, not only did I leave to get married, but he's my they're all half brothers.
Oh.
And so I was raised when Darren married my mom, I was a year old. And he's always been my dad. Right. I don't think of him as anything less. He doesn't think of me as anything less. It's father-son relationship. And they were always very open about, like, yeah, you had this other guy donate some, you know, DNA your direction, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think it would be, just a side note there, if you waited to tell your kid when they're a teenager or something, like, I think there's an unkindness there. Like, just trust them. It helps the way that they see the world.
Yeah. Were you told when you were older?
No, I was young. I've always known. Yeah.
And you think that's better?
Yeah. Yeah. And of course that's going to be my opinion because it ended up positive, and that's the reality that I got to experience.
Right.
But in talking to other people that found out later,
course. It could have been really bad, and then you might not have thought that was the way to go.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it went good for you.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point.
I agree in the truth too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids are stronger than you think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
life is hard.
Like, one of my favorite examples is Jack Nicholson, the actor.
Yeah.
He was raised thinking that his mom was his sister and his grandma was his mom. And so they didn't tell him until he was older.
Oh, how awful is that?
Right.
The whole time your mom is right there and you had no idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my sister. No, that's your mom. Like that, I mean, and that's an extreme example because that does actually change the dynamics of everything in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I guess if my parents had told me later, oh, hey, by the way, dad's not actually your dad.
Yeah.
But I had my cousin on my mom's side. She has an older brother, and he came from a marriage that my grandma had before she married my grandpa. And they never ended up telling my cousins. And so they were off at some family event with my grandma's brother, and he starts like spouting off, oh yeah, did you know that your dad is not really Papa's son and blah, blah, blah. And they had no idea.
Oh,
and so
my gosh.
I think there's just a shock to the system that your reality literally has to shift on a dime right there.
Yeah.
Just start off that way.
Yeah.
Just make it normal.
Right.
But
I agree.
All that being said, because I did know, I think I was more observant of, am I getting treated differently?
Mm.
And I wasn't, but I'm sure I chalked some stuff up as, oh, well, that's just because I'm not his biological son, right? Because we all, like, especially as a teenage boy, I'm sure I was a little rebellious. I was definitely rebellious in a good way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I always, and I think this is biblical too, right? Because, like, is it the oldest that's going to inherit this thing, or isn't the second kid? Is it Rachel's child, or is it, right? Like, who gets the birthright for this thing?
Right.
That caused a lot of heartache in the Bible.
Yeah.
And to this day, we still have the 3 Abrahamic faiths that, like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if we had, like, buttoned that up earlier, we wouldn't have, like, continuous war ever since then. But because of all that, I've always kind of thought as Gavin as he probably is the one that would get the birthright. But I didn't get treated any differently, so we're just co-heirs.
Sure.
So yeah, Gavin's a very responsible one. He's married. They've got a daughter. He's helping to run one of my dad's gyms, and he's one of my favorite people on this planet. Always seeking growth. He's amazing. Andrew's a bachelor. He is a truth teller, to the point where we all love to play games. Like, if we get together, we're playing some kind of game. One of my favorite games. Have you ever played? Now I can't. I think it's called Rebellion. Rebellion? Nope. Somebody's going to correct me. Anyways, point is that you secretly get roles. Some of us are spies, some of us are resistance, and you have to go on these missions, and you have to put people on a team. So that's your first vote as a group.
Yeah.
And then whoever gets put on the team gets to vote whether they succeed or fail the mission, and it's best 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Well, I was in charge of putting together the team, and I was a spy, and Andrew was the person that I picked to be on the team. Everybody voted it in. And normally in this game, you don't want to give away you're a spy, especially early on. So you succeed the mission, right? You get people to buy in and trust you. I failed the mission. Nobody, right? It's a hidden vote, so nobody knew between me and Andrew who did it.
Yeah.
And and I fail it, and I go, Andrew, I can't believe you would fail the mission already. And I was so convincing and so adamant about it that everybody bought that Andrew was the bad guy instead of me. I think to this day he hasn't forgiven me because he can't lie in those sorts of games, right? Like, he's like, you just tell the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I'm like, if it helps me win, I'm gonna do it. And then Hunter, he's 15 years younger, so he's 23. He's the baby of the family.
Yeah.
As he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we the same? Are we different? We're all definitely Hamblin boys, but we have our.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where are they? Are you guys all here?
Gavin and Hunter are down southwest of Portland.
Okay.
I think they're both in Sherwood. And then Andrew is over in Renton.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't get together as often as I would like. That's, again, in listening to your episode again and going, okay, your family's all within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a bit of a drive, but you guys can still, hey, this weekend, let's do this thing.
Right.
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 And for the majority of our life, we hosted the Sunday dinners and the
right. I remember us talking about that.
Yeah. And all the holidays. And now we're over here and we're isolated.
And it's isolated. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hate it. I love being here. I wouldn't move away from here, but I'm slow.
You need to
convincing them to get up here.
Oh, to get them here.
Yeah.
Well, just to at least go there to quarterly or something. Have a meal.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, is I think it's sad that so many people now grow up in broken families. For all sorts of reasons, right? Like, I think if I was to wave a wand and say, this is the way that we should be doing things, grandparents should still be maybe not in the same house. I get that. But within the community, so that the grandkids can learn from and be cared for by the grandparents.
Mentors.
The amount that I learned from my grandparents would never have been able to be replaced by my parents.
Oh,
and I love, man, my parents were great.
Totally.
But there's something valuable there.
I agree.
More life experience, more wisdom.
I agree.
And mom and dad would stay together, right? Because where do you go for the holidays? Where do you congregate? Where is your sense of home?
Right.
And my mom's up in Mount Vernon and my dad's all the way down in Houston.
Yeah.
And so where do I go for a holiday? Where we've always had to be, we had to grow up faster than I would have liked in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's hard.
It is.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. My whole life has been.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's not great.
No.
No.
No. It's not.
No.
But.
Well, because where's mom, where's dad?
They're both here.
Oh, they're both here.
But they're not together.
Yeah. Yep.
And we don't do things together.
No, I was going to say.
So I'm like, can we just grow up a little bit?
Right. Like at one point you guys liked each other. Can
I
you
know.
at least like pretend for a day for me, please?
I know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's just life.
It is. Well, and that's I spend a lot of time thinking about partnerships and who we decide to spend our life with. And I mean, one of the top things I think everybody would say is trust, right? Like if you don't have trust in a relationship, you have nothing.
Right.
And at some point, I know I've done this multiple times because I'm a schmuck. I've broken Rachel's trust. And there's like no excuse for it.
Right.
There's just this person decided to do life with you. They love you.
Yeah.
Trust them.
Right.
It might be scary.
Yeah.
But have that conversation.
Right.
And then obviously right next to that is communication.
Communication is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And also can be
people
hard.
Really suck at it.
Yeah. What is that?
Really suck at it. I think part of it, I think you and I might have a one up on things because we were so young when we got married.
I think that's true.
Although I would say the first part of my marriage, I definitely got some things wrong.
Amen.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is what society puts on people. It's fake. It's a facade.
Yeah.
People mold to what they think the other person wants.
Yep.
So both parties are creating something the other person wants. So then once they're committed and then the true colors come out, they're not at all who they were dating.
Right.
So there's that aspect.
For sure.
And then the compromise in communication and just not, even after we've been married 17 years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The end of this month, we celebrate that.
I love it.
But even after that, it's like, how do you not know what I'm thinking right now? You've known me for 17 years, but we communicate so differently.
Right.
My husband's he's the one who like, he can pull information out he read when he was 5 years old.
Brilliant.
Like, yeah. And he's so smart and he's so articulate with his words and words have meanings and he's very literal with them and he knows what the definition is. He knows what
that lexicon going on in his brain is.
I'm the artist.
Yeah.
So everything
it's all
is
ethereal
like,
and
yeah. You know, and it's like, well, no, I said that word, but that's not what I meant. And so it's very challenging sometimes for us to communicate with each other because then like even last night I was like, well, is this what you mean or do you mean this? He's like, why do I have to repeat myself? I'm like,
I said what I meant.
Because I just need to clarify because I know you're very specific and that could mean 12 different things to me. So like even now we have that. So I think it's just like that grace.
It is.
And then
and the recognition of, because you both know that about each other.
Right.
So
learning that about each other and then also not being afraid to say those things.
Yes.
I think like communicating versus not is like, even if you get it wrong, I think is more important.
Yeah.
Because then all these assumptions happen. You're assuming this is how that person's feeling or whatever, and it's not, and it's dumb. And then I think you have to actually trust, at least for women to men, like what our men say, we have to trust that that's what they mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because men are that simple. Like they say.
We are simple.
No. You know what like they say what they mean.
Right.
There's not some hidden thing under there.
Right.
And so that's where that trust comes in. Like, no, that's.
Well, is that like the classic, hey, are you okay if I do this? Whatever. Sure. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, buddy,
Yeah.
don't. I know she said yes. She didn't mean yes.
She didn't mean yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah. And then I think also just understanding, a lot of people don't understand the different communication between women and men.
Yes.
Right. So understanding the female brain versus the male brain,
Yeah.
and that whole analogy of like spaghetti versus boxes. Have you heard?
No, but I want to.
You haven't heard this analogy?
I don't think so.
Or like how a woman's brain is like a jumble of wires?
Never.
Shut up.
You're gonna get like halfway through and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
one.
I've heard that before, actually. So like a woman's brain is full, people say spaghetti. I like wires because it makes sense to me. Okay. So it's all jumbled up in there, everything. Yeah. So memories, and the memories are tied to emotions. Yeah. And so if there's an event that happens, that wire goes through and there's an emotion tied to that. And then it triggers this on the way, and it's all jumbled like this. So memories can stir up emotions in us, right? That come forward. So sometimes when we react and you're like, where did that come from? Yeah. Well, that's because that reminded us of this event that happened 15 years ago, and that emotion is tied to it for us.
That makes so much sense.
So not only do we
have never heard this before.
Yeah. So not only do we have to process what you just said, we also have to process all of this memory and emotion that's coming down the wire. Yep. And be like, okay, Renee, tone down the crazy. This is not related to this. You know?
Oh, that's so good.
So it's like we have to process all this stuff too. Yeah. And then for men, you guys have compartments. You have boxes, right?
It's file cabinets for me. I know it's file cabinets. You know? Yeah.
So other people have storage units. Yeah. So you guys, when you talk about a topic or you're doing something, it's one box. Yep. You're in that box, this is what I love about men. I wish I could do this. Like, I love this about you guys. You're in that box. You're focused in that box. You're doing what that box is. None of your boxes touch. Nope. None of them touch. If you're in this box, you're not in this box.
Are you inside my head right now? Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Once you're done with this box, you get out of the box, you close the box, and you go into the next box. Yes. And this is why I think men are such good, workers too. And of course, there's outliers on both ends.
Right.
But yeah, because if you watch a man, they're always so focused in exactly what they're doing. And it's beautiful. Like whether that's talking to their wife. Well, you guys tend to.
Yeah, sometimes we.
But or with the children, or in your work, or in a project at home. Like you are in it. Right? Yeah. I love that. You guys also have a box of nothing. And
I probably have a really big box of nothing.
And this has scientifically been proven, and I can't remember which university it was. Maybe it was Johns Hopkins or Pennsylvania, one of those big ones. They actually studied this. So you guys you have a box that has nothing in it, and you are actually able to go into that box, and the brain was doing nothing.
Brilliant.
You can do nothing. And women, we don't have that box.
You don't have a nothing box.
We are not capable of a nothing box. Yes. So whenever you tell your wife, when they ask, what were you thinking about? Nothing. We don't believe you because that doesn't exist for us.
That's brilliant.
Yes. So that's why it's always like, well, no, seriously, tell me.
Right.
And you're like, no, nothing. That's why we have such a hard time believing that, because it physically does not exist for us.
I think right next to my nothing box is the just ridiculous, obscure thought box.
The inappropriate box.
And that's what I end up, because I might have been thinking about nothing, or it might have just been like, wow, that blanket over there. Yeah. Okay. That's, I bet that's really soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And what were you thinking about? Rome? Yeah. Something really deep, or nothing. It was just something stupid.
Yeah. So I think understanding that too, that's a huge part of that communication.
That's amazing. Well, and there's the classic meme of I'll bet he's thinking about that other woman, or whatever it is, right?
No,
he's like,
they're thinking about how that blanket in the corner is really soft.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and on the consumerism, on the communication, gee, many Christmas, my brain.
You've had a long day.
I have had a long day, and the reason that I know that I have file cabinets is because names. Yeah. You are in the R section, right?
Great.
And if we didn't see each other for 20 years, and I tend to meet a bajillion and a half people and I start mixing up names.
Yeah.
If we saw each other again in 20 years after having not seen each other, be like, R.
Yeah.
R. I know it's not Rachel. It's Roberta. So yeah, I need to either dust them off or do something with my file cabinets because I can get to the section, but then I can't find the file.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's the health optimization. I need to clean that up. I can figure it out really fast.
We do need to clean that up.
But communication, I think a piece of that is not assuming.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say not assuming because 17 years, we're coming up on 20 next June. How you get so used to somebody that it is easy to assume because that's what you've been doing for however long. Well, guess what? We get to change at any point in our lives.
Yeah.
And so you still need to communicate.
Right. We're not the same people.
No.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And like some of my favorites are, hey, I'm swinging by this place. I'm going to grab something and buy. Do you want something? Yeah, just grab me something. You know what I like. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
No, I really don't. And are we doing gluten-free this week? Are we doing dairy-free? Are we I don't know.
Yeah.
So just tell me be direct, be so simple.
Funny. We're the opposite. So my husband is really good at like knowing what I want in the moment or whatever. Yeah. And I could do that. And he's really good at kind of honing in and be like, I think she's going to like this, whatever. And he'll get it. But reverse that. I'm like, no, I am not picking out what you're eating. I need you to tell me specifically. And maybe that's just because he's a detailed, very specific dude. So I'm all like, no, not playing this game.
Not doing it.
I'll guess with a candy bar, but not with your lunch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Whereas I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll try. Like I'll walk into a place and I'm like, give me the special.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
well, and I'm so indecisive that when we go to a restaurant, I might be like, these are like the 5 dishes that I think look good. And I'll just tell the waitress, here's the 5, pick your favorite. Surprise me. I don't care. You're putting all that on me. You work here. You know what's good.
Yeah.
And I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that. I usually narrow it down to 2. And if I can't decide, I ask them.
You ask them to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I look at my husband and he'd be like, yeah, that's a good choice.
Okay. What drives me crazy? Okay, between the two of you, especially if you try somewhere new or whatever it is, who ends up liking their dish more often than not?
Oh, I've never thought about that. Like if we go somewhere new?
Yeah. And the reason I ask is because
I don't know.
Whenever Rachel and I go somewhere,
I
always end up like, rarely do I not like what I get.
Because you ask the server who works there.
Right.
She knows what's crap or not.
Or if I don't play that game, then it's, I know, like, I'm totally in the mood for this. I'm listening to, this is what I'm craving. This is the thing. I know I'm going to want this thing.
Yeah.
She'll, especially because she does have dietary restrictions, it already takes the menu down a lot. And then she's looking between those 2 or 3 things.
Right.
I swear she picks the wrong thing every time.
Oh, poor thing.
She's always like, it's not as good as I wanted it to be.
I don't know. I think we're pretty on par because we don't go out that much. And I'm like you. Like I'm going out because I'm already craving something and I already know. Or we're both disappointed.
Oh.
Because we both cook and we cook well.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. We could have done this better at home.
For a third the cost.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, that's half my grocery bill. That's cool.
It's no joke.
Like, sweet.
I love how the things that you say trigger the thing that I wanted to say earlier.
What?
And then it's gone again.
Oh my gosh.
It went into my nothing box.
Together.
I think mine's just a vacuum.
Have you drank any water today? You got electrolytes? What the heck?
I'm actually going to text Rachel right now.
Do you need like Shilajit? Do you need B vitamins? What's
I took all my vitamins this morning.
Okay.
I was good about it.
An afternoon bump? I don't know. Of vitamins.
Oh.
Of vitamins.
Okay, all right. I am gonna have you or have her. Can you turn on the AC? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little toasty in here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why my brain's not working. Okay. It was something about.
Oh my gosh! One of my dudes this week. I had to share this with the temperature of the house. He's like, I don't care if the house is a disaster. I don't care if you don't have dinner cooked. Please, for the love of God, have it less than 68 degrees when I get home.
Yeah. Well, and there's one vent in this room and it's on the other side. But we turned off the AC a few days ago because it started getting cold.
Yeah.
And so it's not on right now. So I didn't even think about that before we got in.
I turned our little AC unit on when I left the house because I'm like, oh, it's actually getting hot.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. Well, and we're just gonna keep like bouncing back and forth for the next few weeks. So Rachel and I were reminiscing and also kind of like, because you end up, I think most of us, I think this is why we have midlife crisis. You get to that point and you go, what the hell did I do? If I had taken a left there and then turned right, I'd be in a completely different spot. This would be great.
Yeah.
So we had the realization that in our 20s, we both wanted to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, because I thought Rachel needs security.
Oh.
I got to make sure I keep things stable. I bring in income, but I can't go not make nothing. And then we're stressing about bills and I am the provider. Right. So I need to do this.
Yeah.
And she goes, I would have supported you in taking any risk.
Wow.
I'm like, son of a gun.
Well, dang it.
Right. And same way around. She was like, I would have taken more risks, but I thought this. Yeah. And so communication.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're looking back 10, 20 years and going, shoot.
Yeah. Well, and there are so many mentors and stuff too that popped up, 10 years into marriage that are like, ooh, read this book. And I'm like, where was that before marriage?
Right.
Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
Right.
And it's like talking about that and even like, bringing in the baggage. So you guys both come from like different families, different marriages and parent stuff.
Yep.
And so you have these assumptions already of what a marriage looks like.
Right.
And so then you bring it in here, but then you never talk about it.
Right.
So that's where all these assumptions come in.
Right.
And it's like, that's not.
Well, and I definitely think we had the added benefit of, I'm already hanging out in her house since 13 years old.
Right.
Even though I don't know she exists.
Right.
I'm getting you. And her mom was my seminary teacher my freshman year.
Yeah.
It's her favorite. Again, by the way, that's a common theme. I am everybody's favorite. And my Ben would call my folks mom and dad. So like we were already commingled before we got together and definitely before we got married. So I knew what they were being taught, what their family was like.
Right.
She very quickly figured out what my family was like. Hey, Ben, what's this crazy Hamblin family like? But most people definitely don't get that.
Yeah.
And then we're both coming from the same religion. So we kind of have, okay, this is what it is.
Because you grew up in the LDS church.
Yeah.
Right? Both. So let's go on. Did you guys talk about this in your other one?
Yes, but
let's go down
way more than I expected to with Brittany.
Oh.
And so you guys are actually going to hear this before you hear my conversation with Brittany. But I have a feeling that we're going to touch on stuff that we didn't with Brittany.
Maybe.
Which is brilliant.
Okay. Let's see. Well, how long are you going to do this thing? You're not going to do a 6-hour podcast. You think you're that favorite that everybody wants to hear 6 hours about?
Yeah.
You? Okay.
Well, no, and this is what I like because, like,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
kind of not really.
It is these two episodes.
Check, putting it in your chart. I'm just kidding. You're not.
Is there medication for that?
No.
It's not taking a bump. Okay.
No, not a bump.
Well, okay, so I don't know if this is where you wanted me to go, so maybe I should just shut up. But,
no, this is all about you. You take it wherever you want to.
But
that's what you would have told me.
That's true. I would have.
Yeah.
But I think it's really well set up in the LDS world of like, this is how life ideally should go, right? You come up in the church, you get baptized at 8, you do the youth program. Back when I was growing up as a young man, the youth program was tied to Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a lot of good principles and morals and stuff out of that. Plus you're getting the religious side, really good leaders. You do seminary through high school. You go on your mission and then you go to school, you find your bride. And then my mother-in-law actually called me out on this the other day. And then you endure to the end. You have babies and live a good life, right? Be a good member of society. And like, it's definitely not bad stuff.
Right.
Right. Because that would be my advice still outside of the church to anybody is find somebody that you love and that you want to do life with. Yeah, there's going to be challenges. Yeah, you guys aren't always going to get along. Yeah, like marriage isn't easy, but it is worthy.
Yeah.
And it is a very worthy endeavor.
Yeah.
Go do that and do it. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Right? If you're waiting for the perfect time on any of this stuff,
right,
it never comes.
Nope.
So when it feels right, do like if you found that person, do it.
Right.
And go have babies.
Don't waste your time. I've been having this conversation with a lot of young people, teenagers, or even in like young 20-year-olds and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just straight up ask them, like, I don't care anymore. I'm like, you think you're going to marry her? And if there's a pause,
then
they're like,
what are you doing?
I'm all, what are you doing?
Right.
You're wasting your time.
Right.
Or the ones that just like, they're with them for like 2 years. Like I asked somebody this week and I'm like, how long have you been together? 2 years. They're living together. And I'm all, are you going to marry her up or what?
Right.
What are you doing?
What else are you waiting for? Well, okay. And that's so Rachel doesn't like it when I say this. My dad's advice was always treat it like Baskin and Robbins. Try all 31 flavors. Like try mint chocolate chip and move on. Try this, try that. Well, clearly I really like vanilla because I only needed to try one flavor and I was good to go.
That's cute.
But yeah, if you try it and well,
what are you waiting for?
We're waiting
Move
until
on.
we both have good jobs, or I'm waiting for, I think he's going to change or what. Just no.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a kindness to say, I really hope you have a great life. And I actually really do care about you, but this isn't it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yep.
And if it is okay, if it is what's meant to be, it's going to circle around.
Yeah.
Like it's,
No.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked people that question. Because
I'm getting a little bit more bold.
Well, and we also live in a society where like, if I had not been brought up religious and had been maybe paying more attention than I was at the time, like in hindsight, there's not a lot of benefit. No. Right. I mean, just from a agnostic perspective.
Well, what's interesting, so of course I'm biased because, I believe that like you get married, you have babies, you do these things. I'm, biblically based.
Right.
And so I have a bias. However, the science backs it all up.
Of course.
So, statistically too, economically, those that get married and have a household, income-wise, they're better. They're better in society. Yep. They're better members of society. They're usually better people. They usually don't get in trouble. Yep. They produce more. They contribute more. So economically, they're better.
Yep.
And you can get through hard times easier. The other thing too is these people that keep going in and out of relationships and also having premarital relations and just sleeping around. There are so many negative health implications for it.
Right.
If STDs are through the roof. So that's one thing, which people are like, well, there's medications for that. Yeah, well, it goes a little bit deeper than that because if you're constantly doing that, you're messing with your gut biome, you're messing with a whole bunch of microorganisms, and we're actually on the brink of not having enough antibiotics and creating super bugs within the STD realm.
Yep.
So pretty soon, we're not going to have something to treat chlamydia. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But we're at that right now.
Right.
So it's like that. And then it's also the tissue damage and things that are happening. And it's like viable pregnancies. That's all related to STDs.
Yep.
Then when we go into actually having multiple partners, you're messing with all of your dopamines and then the actual connection between people. And so when you actually find your true partner that you feel like you're supposed to marry and be with, you're a fraction of the person. And it's like scientifically proven.
Yeah.
So it's men and women. It's not just women.
Right.
And then when you go down the whole pornography and masturbation, all of that stuff too, both men and women, it completely negatively impacts your relationships and the dopamine and serotonin levels in your brain.
You get all screwed up.
So then addiction and sleep and anxiety, depression, all these things compile on it. And so like even on a scientifically like health wise, it's really not good for you.
Well, and to add to the negatives there, so if you end up with a child,
right?
How often? Well, if you're already not together anyways, now that child's being raised in a single family home,
right?
And especially if it's a fatherless single family home,
Right.
those statistics are awful.
They're awful.
The
awful.
likelihood of you dropping out of school, of
Yep.
you getting arrested, of you being an addict, of you, like, go down the list of all the negatives,
Yep.
they're like tenfold plus.
Yep.
It's awful.
Yep. Our households need fathers.
Badly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Bad.
And I saw this video the other day and I thought it was so beautiful. The guy was there. The host said something along the lines of, "You've been with your wife for like 40 years. What's your secret?" And it wasn't, I think they might've said, yeah, communication, all that's great.
Sure.
But that is the person that you've chosen to do life with. And when you are at your worst, they remind you of what you are at your best.
Yes.
And I get chills thinking about it every time, because that is it right there. Like, why do you produce better? Why are you more successful? Why? Because you have this partner that you both pick each other up.
Yep. And you've seen each other at your worst.
At your worst.
And they're still there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. And you said narcissism earlier.
I was kidding.
No. People throw around narcissism, and my rebuttal to that is we're all narcissistic. That's how it works. We're all self-interested. To what degree changes?
That's pride.
Yes.
A true narcissist is actually very rare.
Correct. Yes. But if you just keep bouncing around, you're fulfilling your own needs, wants, and desires. It's selfish. It's pride. As soon as you have a life partner, you have to give up a part of yourself. You have to be more concerned about somebody else other than yourself more.
Yes.
And then when you have children, just that, like, your sense of self lessens more and more.
Right.
And so of course they're going to be better members of society, because they know what it's like to actually care about other people than themselves.
Right. It's empathy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So get out there, get married, and have babies.
Yes. Create men.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Well, and gosh, how depressing is that? Right. I end up having a lot of conversations about the masculine and the feminine, and the two of them need to come together.
Yes.
To form a whole.
Yes.
Right. We each have masculine and feminine in each of us.
Yes.
Right. To, like, what degree? Am I 80% masculine, 20%? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Point is that you need to incorporate both in your life, and with the opposite sex partner who's going to be stronger in that opposite thing.
Right.
Together you form this beautiful union that is a whole.
Which is God created.
Right. You will leave your parents.
Yep. And it's an example.
Become one flesh. And
because women are the feminine version of God and men are the masculine version of
God.
And so together we create one. And so it's that perfect symbol.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to get deep here.
Let's do it.
Because I just had this conversation, and it made this another light bulb moment for me. Because in Genesis, right, it talks about how Eve is supposed to submit to Adam as Adam submits to God. Right. And so the feminist movement would look at that and say, we ain't going to submit to no man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go straight to God, or forget about God completely.
Right. Right.
And to be fair, if we are supposed to be equals in this, we both bring different strengths.
Right.
Why can't it be reverse? Because it very explicitly says that order of things.
Yes.
Why? And it's bugged me for years.
Why?
Yeah. And actually, I'm curious about your take.
Do you actually want to know? Has anybody answered this question for you?
Well, so I just had this conversation with a buddy a week ago, and he gave me an answer that I loved, and I'm trying to find a hole in it, and I don't think there is one.
Well, I would be curious what you want to hear what I have to say
do.
first.
Yeah, before I give it.
Okay. Because I'm not very good at like all of. Okay, Holy Spirit, come on. So, why it's not reversed?
Yeah.
Right. Because women are the image of the church.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
So you know how it says that men are supposed to love their wives, right? With everything, and they're supposed to surrender themselves and love their wife. That's an example of Jesus completely surrendering his life for the church.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a parallel.
Yep. For
so
sure.
men surrender their life, just like Jesus surrendered his life for us. Men are surrendering their life for their wife. Jesus surrendered his life for the church, and the church is the body of the people. It's us. It's the people.
Right.
So we represent the church.
Yep.
And so this feminist movement, I mean, I think it's empowering that I have to submit to my husband.
Do you?
Oh, 100%. It frees everything up for me.
Yeah?
Yes. There's no pressure. There's no stress. It's like I have, and because man is more logical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so if my husband is in line with God and in communication with God, there is a covering over me. There's a protection over me when I do surrender to him. And it's knowing that I am more feeling and emotion based, which is not logical, which can steer you down a wrong path. And so when I come to my husband about certain decisions or things, he can be like, no, honey, this is the logical thing. This is what's happening. You're emotional right now. And he's so in tune to me too. It's like, well, let's talk about this in a week and see how you feel about that.
Yeah.
And so me submitting to him is wisdom because he's guiding me. And it's not, and because he has surrendered himself for me, everything he does is for my good.
Yeah.
There's nothing negative in that.
Yeah.
And so does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a ton of sense.
So the surrender is to protect me.
Yeah.
And that is also another reflection of how we're supposed to surrender to the Lord.
Right.
Because he wants what's good for us.
Right.
And so this discipline as Abba Father and things that he does, this isn't for bad.
No.
But if you were to surrender to it and have trust and faith in him, it will be good.
Yeah.
And he's there to protect you, just like your husband is to protect the wife.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And then Adam was created first.
Yeah.
So of course that's first.
Yeah.
He had that relationship with him. And then God saw that he needed that helpmate, right? Yeah. And what other women too don't realize is helpmate. I can't remember the actual Hebrew. It's either Hebrew or Greek. I can't remember which one it is, right? And it actually, the word means that we're not just a helpmate to where like we do your chores and your dishes, your things like that.
Right.
No, we fill in the gaps for our husband where they are not able to.
Yeah.
And that's actually what the word means in its true language. And so
beautiful.
Yeah. And so that's that feminine part. That's where you guys, because you're so logical in your thinking, that's where you come home, you're disappointed, you're trying to do this thing. Well, that's where the faith and hope and we have, right? Because we always like, no, this can happen. Like, this is going to happen. We have hope. We have faith. Like, God's going to do it. Yeah. And then logical man over here is all like, well, this is happening. So no, it's not.
Right.
Well, we fill in that gap for you guys. We're praying for you. We're there to encourage you. We're there to set forward, right? And that's what you're talking about. The feminine and the masculine come together. Yes. That's why we mirror each other so well.
Yeah.
And so we're that helpmate. We fill in that hole where they are not capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even need to give my thoughts on that because that's beautifully said.
Oh, thank you.
That's so well said. Well, and to add on to that, I think that's why that order from Eve to Adam to God is important, because if you're Eve and you're submitting to Adam and he's not doing it righteously, right? Mm-hmm. You're giving him that, and who is he serving? What is he getting inspired from? Well, if it's his own self-interest, then he's going to take advantage of you submitting. Right. But if he is the protector, he is doing what's best for both of you. Right. In accordance with God. Mm-hmm. Then why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the piece that my buddy added that I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Was he said, and maybe a little bit more context to the logical and the emotional and all of that. God directs Adam to name the animals. Right. Right. Men like to set things in order. Yes. We like to find the most logical path, take that path. Yes. We like to compete and see who the winner is, who's the best, what is the best thing. Mm-hmm. And we seek after that. Yep. When that happens, everything else gets pushed off to the side. Mm-hmm. If you're lesser than, or there's things that can be forgotten, and the emotional and the caring and the nurturing and the taking care of everything can fall by the wayside, right? And so again, masculine, feminine, like that's what ladies are good at.
Right.
Men typically aren't great nurturers.
Right.
Right.
Well, and you can see that in the workforce.
Yes.
Right. That's why we have more male mathematicians and engineers. And that's why we have more female nurses in that path.
Yeah. So, that's a very good example. And so he said, think about what women do, especially from a creative process. They cycle every month. They want to create. They are matter yet unorganized, right? God created everything from unorganized matter. Men come in, and when they unite with a woman, you both are donating 50-50, but he's picking sex and saying, hey, you've had all this creative potential. I'm going to come in and fill that gap. And this is the direction that we're going.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
I thought that made a ton of sense. Like just from a biological perspective, it makes sense. And then he ended up going into, have you ever heard of Lilith?
No, expand upon that.
Okay. So ancient Sumerian and some of those other Middle Eastern, like way back in the day, thousands of years before Christ, they found enchanting bowls with these tales of Lilith. And I think it also ended up getting absorbed into some form of Judaism, but I could be wrong there. Don't quote me on that. But Lilith was supposed to be Adam's first wife. And she's actually being celebrated pretty heavily right now, especially in feminist movements, because it's this, well, she left the garden because she wasn't going to submit to a man. And,
oh my gosh.
And so that's the story, right? Is that
is this in scripture?
It's not in the Bible.
Yeah.
But again, it's ancient text. And so it was a tale that was
There's a lot
told.
of ancient text.
Right. And so I'm not saying that this is biblical or scriptural. But it is something that ancient civilizations looked at. And I think it actually tells it's kind of an important difference.
Yeah.
So she couldn't get along with Adam for whatever reason, grew wings and flew out of the garden.
Okay.
Gonna go be a strong, independent woman. And then we get Eve.
Grow those wings, babe.
Right. Well, okay. And the continuation of that tale is that she still wanted to create, but wouldn't submit to Adam. So now that she's out of the garden by herself, she still tries to create, but she can only birth demons.
Oh.
Which, father outside of the house, what do you end up birthing? I mean, like societal demons in a lot of ways. I mean, not always the case, obviously, but that it to me, it signifies that lack of, you need equal measure of the masculine and the feminine. You need to unite and and for a greater purpose than yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's all a mirror of the picture of Jesus in the church.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the story of the bridegroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all part of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I love it.
That's cool.
I don't know how we bounced from music to masculine, feminine.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we're on the religion kick. So you grew up LDS.
Grew up LDS.
Then what? Because you're not LDS now.
Not LDS now. So, okay. I need to preface this. I've actually been nervous about this part.
You have?
Yeah. Because I know you're not going to agree with everything that I say, and I don't expect that you will.
Yeah.
But, I've heard so many times from people saying, Brandon, I have no idea where you're at, because you interview people and you just agree with them. I'm like, yeah, because it's their story. Why wouldn't I? I'm not going to debate them about their life. That makes no sense. And I'm genuinely curious, and I love people. Yeah. And so I don't care. I'm just going to love on you.
Yeah.
And so don't judge me too harshly, I guess is my preface.
Okay. I'll try not to.
Okay. So grew up LDS, did all the things, and I won't dive too much into a lot of it in detail, because I did talk about that with Brittany. But checked all the boxes. One thing that I will repeat, because I'm very proud of it, so teenage years, you go to seminary.
Yeah.
And I went all 4 years, and I was 100% attendance. I never missed a day.
Wow.
I was skipping school afterwards, but I was going to seminary.
That's funny.
And so I've I think the reason I did that, one, is because I wanted to prove myself that I could do something I committed to doing.
Sure.
And so, especially as a teenager, like
Yeah.
that was something I was proud of. But I've always been very curious about God.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my mom married my dad, she had been, I don't know, like I think maybe my grandparents would have claimed being Methodist at some point, or but like probably more non-denominational than anything. Not a lot of church in the house.
Yeah.
My dad was raised Mormon, and so when they got together, my mom converted, and that's just the way that I was brought up. And we were active. Sometimes we'd be really good at going to church all the time. Sometimes we didn't. And I say this on Brittany's, but it's worth repeating. We kind of had this like weird cycle of when we weren't active, life would get kind of funky. And then it was, well, we need blessings. We're going to go back to church. And whether or not that's what my parents were thinking, that's what
your perspective,
the way that I interpreted it.
Yeah.
And so most of my teenage years, I'm active, go to seminary, get my Eagle Scout award, go on my short-lived mission.
Where'd you go?
New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were you hoping for?
Japan.
Have you been to Japan?
No.
Why not?
Because it's expensive.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know. And like we got married young and we were
I know, that's true.
in debt right out of the gate. And then we had kids and like, I like Disneyland. I don't know.
I'm looking at flights to Japan right now.
Okay, good. I would love to go to Japan. And I had taken Japanese in high school, and my father-in-law went to Japan on his mission. And I just, for some reason, like I was drawn to the culture and I thought I was going there. And then when I opened my mission call and it said New Jersey, you can visibly see my whole like face just drop. But I say all that because.
Oh, look, from Seattle to Japan.
Yeah.
From September 30th to October 7th, $258 on Expedia.
I'm going to Japan, folks. I'm going to go get me some real sushi. All right. I can do that.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Round trip.
So my new job, I'm going to end up traveling.
Okay.
So I cover Utah, Idaho.
International. Did you put that in your contract?
I'm going to.
Japan.
Shoot.
What the? Should have asked for more.
I should have. Well, but that's the thing. Yeah, hon, I'm going to Salt Lake. I'll see you in a week. I'm going to Japan.
I'm going to Japan.
That's terrible.
You want to be
tell
risky.
The truth. Communicate. Geez, Brandon, we just had a whole section of the podcast on that.
Yeah, but she wanted to be a risk taker in her 20s. You're doing it now.
That's right. Yeah.
See, I listen, babe.
That's so good. Oh gosh.
Okay, sorry.
But where was I? But I've always sought God, and I've always been curious. And I mean, this kind of ties into why I do the podcast. Like, why do you get to the point where you get? Why do you believe the things that you believe?
Right.
And obviously, religion is very heavily tied to your family. What area of the world do you grow up in? And what do they believe? Because chances are, at least until you're an adult and you get to decide on your own, you're probably picking that thing.
Right.
And then, I'd go to the library or be on the bus and be talking to some kid about religion. And then there'd be a group that like more kids would come in and we'd all be talking religion. And, well, you Mormons, well, you Baptists, well, you Catholics, well, you Jews, and it's like, okay, we're all pretty convinced that we're right.
Yeah.
And we all can quote scripture to say that we're right. And it's really fun when we quote the same scripture and it's like, well, you're interpreting that wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, can we get to the foundational pieces of this thing? Because can we at least agree that something created us? Right? This isn't some random, like, I'm not an atheist. None of us are atheists here. We can at least get past that barrier.
Right.
And I don't care if you're agnostic and you just don't know, but we can at least agree there's something. Okay, now, is that thing loving or is it spiteful? Or is it non-caring? Well, based on my life experience and based off of blah, 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 I'm leaning towards loving. And now, okay, so people have written things down in books and we call them scriptures. And we've got the Quran, we've got the Torah, we've got New and Old Testament, we have Book of Mormon, we have, and whatever L. Ron Hubbard has done for the Scientologists. And we've got, we've got all these things.
Yeah.
So now how do we decide which ones are correct and which ones aren't?
Right.
Well, that's got to be something beyond our five senses. Okay. So which one? So this whole spirit thing sounds pretty good. Something's going to testify to me. Something is going to move me in a way that's going to tell me this is correct. Because this thing that created me loves me, wants to give me direction in life. I have these things in front of me that are old wisdom passed down for generations and generations, thousands of years. Is it true? Right? And now we're all so we're all in agreement on those factors, and we're still at war with each other. Why?
Yeah.
It seems kind of silly to me.
Yeah.
And of course, right, I've always been very good at defending, and especially as a teenager and into my 20s, I was a very good defender of the Mormon faith. And I think a lot of that can come back to, like, at the base of it, I would have been able to say, I've had experiences that have shown me that this is true. And again, right, I think that's why we all cling to the things that we believe. And they call it the shelf. So whether it's history or religion or politics, I'm really good at, like, I'm not Charlie Kirk good, but I really like to deep dive into specifics on things. And so, like, I'm trying to think of a good example in the LDS faith. I'll give a really silly one. They have the word of wisdom, right? So Joseph Smith was supposed to have gotten this revelation because for the health of us, this is what your diet's supposed to be like, right? And it has a phrase in there of hot drink is not for the body. Okay, that's the line. It doesn't say coffee. It doesn't say tea. It doesn't say hot chocolate. It says, or any of that. It says hot drink. It later gets interpreted as hot drink. And also, it wasn't supposed to be a commandment. It was for the welfare and benefit of man. And then later it becomes a commandment within the LDS faith. You start reading the history of it, and Joseph Smith used to have this school of the prophets where they would meet in the second floor of this building, and they were all chewing tobacco and spitting all over the place. And his wife, Emma, got tired of cleaning it up. And then he has this revelation. Well, isn't that convenient? No more tobacco? God said no more tobacco. I don't have to clean this crap up anymore. Amen. Hallelujah. Right? Like, and obviously, some of the, like, there's a lot of good things in the word of wisdom. Like, is alcohol good for the body?
Yeah, no.
No, it's not great. I have a great time with alcohol now, but my liver and my kidneys are telling you that they're mad at me. And it's probably because I've started drinking.
Yeah.
Tobacco, right? I mean, this would have been the mid 1800s. At what point did we realize that smoking tobacco or chewing tobacco was bad for you? Like, we were still heavily doing that up through the 80s into the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of prophetic. Is it kind of also obvious? I don't know. Maybe, was it to people in the 1800s? No idea.
Yeah.
Point is that I could put that on the shelf because I could also go, well, green tea and some of this other stuff that you're saying isn't, or even caffeine, really. Some of these things are beneficial. Like, it shouldn't be abused. But should I abstain from it 100%? Probably not. So I'm just going to put this on on this shelf of, I don't have a good answer for it. Things like the Trinity. There's a very clear difference between the LDS faith and especially non-denominational Christianity. 3 distinct beings. No, the Trinity is one. And they, I still have yet to find anybody really well explain the Trinity. I've heard it a bajillion times from Catholics and Calvinists and non-denominational. I still don't think the Trinity makes any sense. I can conceptualize it. I just don't think it's accurate. But that's another one, right, that I put on the shelf and go, okay, but LDS is saying that God has a body of flesh and blood. And, like, if I'm God, yeah, maybe sometimes. But all that, like, you're God, you're all powerful with, like, okay, how does that work? Or Genesis says something like, man has become like us. Okay, well, if you are split personality, Trinity version of God, okay, referring to yourself as us, maybe. Or does that mean there is actually multiple us? Or what does that mean? I'm just LDS has an answer for this. I don't really like that answer. I don't like the general answer. I'm just going to put that over here. So I kept collecting these things of, like, I don't have a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got to, but again, I mean, we already made the point. If you look across different lifestyles, living an LDS lifestyle is good. You aren't having alcohol or drug problems typically. I mean, like every community is going to have that issue at some point, but they have a limited version of it. They stay together, husband and wife. Their divorce rate is lower than most other people's. They have a lot of children. So again, you're learning how to care for others over yourself. Makes a good community member. They're usually successful. They've usually gone to school, right? Like that's not a bad.
Well, the church provides a lot of that.
Kind of.
The education part.
It's, I think if you go to BYU Idaho, or BYU Hawaii,
BYU.
if you're a member of the church, it costs less, kind of like if you're in state versus out of state going to a school.
Or it's covered. I have multiple cousins who's 100% covered because they did the steps and went through the school and got 4.0s. So they're all getting med degrees and everything else. It's covered.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Why wouldn't you want to?
So yeah, the church also
reinforce your tribe and take care of your tribe. Like,
right.
Of course you would.
Yeah. Dang it.
Yeah. I was going to say, because all the missionaries have to pay $10,000 to go on their missions. If you don't check the boxes, you're still paying for school. Yeah, because I would have been paying for school. Yeah. Mr. 3.2 over here. What is up with this dinging?
I don't know. What is that?
Well, I got a new Mac.
I can still hear myself, so we're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I got a new Mac, and it keeps popping up with flipping notifications. I turned it off at one point, and now I don't remember how I did it.
Cool.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Hope you all enjoyed the beep. Okay, so where was I at? Still paying for stuff. Anyways, so and that's one of those. Okay, well, we talked a little bit about drugs last time on your episode, right? I have that experience. My dad and my brothers are all addicts. The DARE program, I have all this stuff reinforcing this lifestyle's good, and it provides a lot of answers. And so what if a lot of the rest of Christendom doesn't think they're Christian? Do you believe that Jesus is your savior? That's the only way to heaven. Yeah. Okay. So we're doing pretty good on all aspects of, we're just going to stay here. This is a safe lane. We're going to stay here. Don't wander from this lane. This lane is good. I'm still going to ask questions, but until I get a better answer, I'm staying in this lane. And when we moved over here from Western Washington, it was December of 22. So we're a couple of years into COVID. And especially Western Washington, everything was shut down, including church. And up until that point, I had been on the bishopric. I had been doing all that. We had been regular every Sunday attenders. Our friends group was all LDS. Our lives were LDS. And then they shut down churches, and the prophet, who just like prophets of old, right? It's the head of the church, the mouthpiece of the Lord here on earth, getting revelation from God for what his people want now. He's a heart surgeon. He helped pioneer heart transplant surgery. He's one of the top guys in the world when it came to the heart. He gets on and says, we have this blessing from God in this new vaccine. If you can, you should take it. And it was some variation on that, right? Because most people, especially in the LDS faith, go, mouthpiece of God. If he's telling me to get the shot, I'm going to get the shot. If you listen to it, he doesn't command you to. He doesn't say you have to. But prophet's saying go get the shot. Prophet said God's saying go get the shot, right? It's what that gets interpreted as. And Rachel and I are looking at this and going, we're not getting the flipping shot. And I can't believe that this guy, the prophet, just said to go get the shot. We're not getting the shot. And then news starts coming out about myocarditis and all the other bad stuff that's happening to your heart because of these shots. Maybe the guy who was in the medical field specifically for the heart should have had some insight just as a man knowing, but he's also the mouthpiece of God, and God wouldn't want his people taking this awful, terrible thing that's going to ruin their health. This makes no flipping sense. And I've said this to Rachel. and I just kind of said it now, right? Like staying in the church was the safe lane.
Mm-hmm.
It was the known lane, and it was the, hey, good outcomes from this lane.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, like if I had been single throughout my 20s, I wouldn't have stayed in the church. And so she's always been very she had been always very black and white, very committed to the faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, this works. It doesn't upset the apple cart. We're going to go along with this. It's a good way to raise the kids, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But then that happens, and go back to church once it finally opens up. And Rachel and I are like not masking as much as we can. Western Washington made it really hard to do anything.
Yeah.
Get gas, grocery shop,
I know.
go to work. You were super rebellious if you didn't wear that mask. So I did that as little as possible. I walk into church the first Sunday that it opens back up, and everybody's wearing a mask. That guy that him and I had great conversations about complaining about the government and how, we're a democratic republic and let's overthrow everything and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. As right-wing crazy as you want to get, he's wearing a mask and giving me a dirty look. The guy that I built my AR-15 with, that same thing, right? Like, yeah, let's form a militia and let's do this thing. He's wearing a mask, giving me a dirty look. Where am I?
Right.
Are these not my people?
Right.
And Rachel had just started practicing Reiki before all of that. Mm-hmm. And so she was very leery of doing that because she's like, is this a bad thing? Is this in accordance with God's will and with what the church would want me to do? And I think that started opening the door for her of, oh, maybe there is something else. And then her dad died. And her parents are two of the most saintly people that I know, and both very active, very strong in the faith. And when he died, she said, you need to let me know if this is right. And she had, I won't get into all of her story, but had confirmation that not that it's not right, but just it's okay, whatever you do. And we move over here and we try and go to the congregation, because something that the LDS church is very good at is wherever you go, like you've got a built-in congregation, you know where your boundaries are. Yep. It's all very assigned out. Yes. Right. And also I've got it's never just one thing, right? There's a bunch of pieces to this. I had been doing Theology Friday with my boss, there's a reason why I followed him out here. There's a reason why I love that man. He's one of my favorite people, and it's probably very appropriate that his name is Paul. And he's Calvinistic, and him and I would sit and we'd go to a work meeting and then go grab some tea afterwards, and we'd just be talking theology. Yeah. And okay, give me the Calvinistic view. I'll give you the Mormon view. Yeah. We're going to read scriptures. That's and we're going to compare notes. Yeah. Oh, you're interpreting it that way. I'm interpreting it that way. Okay. Why? And what was funny is I think he thought that he was pulling me more towards his direction, when in reality I was pulling away from both directions. And I don't know if that's completely
Why do you think that
accurate. Because so one of my favorite examples, James, faith without works is dead. Okay. Right. Paul would push back on me and go, well, you Mormons, and he was very respectful. This is not the way he said it. I'm just doing the loose interpretation. Believe in works. I'm like, no. Right. It is through grace, the grace of God or of Jesus alone that any of us are saved. But just having faith, not that it's not enough. And this is where I would get right. Like I'm trying to channel what I was like 4 years ago.
Sure.
But you can't just have faith. There is some works in there. And the better interpretation of that is if you have faith, it's going to show up in who you are.
The works come.
Right. Because you're going to want to, your heart gets changed. Right. And so that would have been the right way to say it. But then I would start to fumble over it. He would he wouldn't play a got me game, but it was kind of like the rest of it doesn't matter. It's just through faith. It's just through faith. And I'm like, but that's not what the scripture says.
Right.
Right. So you're missing a piece of this too, and you're ignoring a piece.
Right.
And I know that I'm fumbling over the way that I interpret this.
Right.
But there is something here. And you know what, you are kind of, and like, he's not wrong about Mormonism having works, right? Because you have to go to the temple, you have to get sealed, you have to do this, you have to do that. And if you don't do those things, then you don't get the top degree of heaven. You still get into heaven, right? It's like, okay, so that's a weird qualifier, because do we really believe that it's just through Jesus, or that it's through Jesus if you want to get through the gate, but then if you want to get up to the like really nice spot, then there is some extra stuff you got to do.
Right.
So I knew that I could give him an explanation that was more true, because to your point, right, it does follow. The works do follow if you have faith. Your heart changes. But it also revealed to me of, okay, I was trying to defend this, but the reason I'm having trouble defending it is because, yeah, it is wrong in this world too. And so I'm pulling away from both, but it's more like an extrapolation of getting to the truth through both, because neither one of them are hitting the nail on the head.
Right.
And again, because I've always loved having conversations with people about their faith, it was, okay, so like Catholicism. Okay, try telling me that we aren't already breaking one of the 10 commandments with worship idol.
Right.
Or idol worship. I said that backwards.
Yeah.
All those saints, so I just saw this comedian make the joke about how this Catholic was really confused, because they're like, you have direct access to Jesus? All you Christians think that you just have direct access to Jesus. If I wanted to, Jesus is busy right now, but you could talk to his mother, or you could talk to St. John, you could talk to St. Peter, right? Like, we don't bother Jesus for normal stuff. Or go talk to the priest. So, right. And like, okay, so I think the Catholic faith is very beautiful. I have many Catholic friends. They're not hitting the nail on the head, but also like, okay, is the claim to authority appropriate, right? Upon this rock, I will build my church. Okay, well, they have a claim to that. That's kind of, but then you start dissecting that and going,
but it's not all encompassing. That's the common thread that with what I see or hear you saying. All of these things have one piece, but not the whole.
Where's the whole, right? And yeah, so when Rachel is open to questioning things, it let me be open to openly questioning things. Again, I didn't want to upset the apple cart, right? And so we just did a dive on everything. Right, first it's us stepping away from the LDS congregation here. I go to, I think I went to Heart of the City. I went to Anthem. Go to some other places. Just kind of feeling everything out, trying to figure out where's home. And then it's, it's not even just that. I'm reexamining every part of my life, everything that I believe. Because definitely religion is like the core foundation of why I believe everything that I believe.
Right.
But I'm looking at my politics.
Right.
I'm looking at my role as a man.
Right.
I'm looking at our marriage.
Right.
I'm looking at how I'm raising my children. I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
And there's been some really hard shifts. There's been some things that I've leaned more into. I just said to my mother-in-law the other day, and she was so happy to hear it. I'm in the scriptures more now than I've ever been in my life. And I mean, and that includes seminary when, like every day you got to read a certain number of chapters.
Yeah.
You're memorizing scriptures. We're doing scripture chases. We're like, I'm definitely in the scriptures. I'm meaningfully more in the scriptures now than I've ever been. And at the same time, I wouldn't claim being Christian.
Are you looking into the translations?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cause I'm like, you're a person who needs to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
To fully understand the culture and the dynamic and the actual words. Cause I think I'm getting more into that, with the guidance of my husband.
I love it.
Yeah. And so even in conversation now, I'm noticing people will quote scripture and go off of it. And I'm like, actually, that's not what that means.
Right.
Because the word love or know or whatever, that's not the Hebrew context of actually what that means. And so people are getting it wrong.
Well, I was just watching a clip with Charlie Kirk, and he's debating a guy, and he goes, well, why are you for the death penalty? It says in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill. Yeah. And it's, no, the mistranslation is kill. The original Hebrew is murder. Yeah.
There's a difference.
Very clear difference.
There's a difference.
It matters a ton. And so
Two
again,
different things.
Brittany and I touch on this just a little bit. She asked me which version of the scriptures I use. And that's another one. And I missaid this in the episode. So you're getting this earlier than the next episode. There's 65 books in the Bible?
I'm so bad at that.
I think it's 65 because I think in that, I said it was like 75 or 77. Point is that in non-denominational Christianity and most of Christendom, you're looking at 65. Then if you look at the Catholics, they have another, I think, 6 to 8 books, something like that. I'm off on the number. And then if you go Orthodox, they have a couple more on top of that.
Yes, because they have the Apotheka.
Right.
Right? Did I say that right? The Orthodox Church. And if you do the Greek Orthodox Church.
Yeah. And I don't remember, does that include Enoch?
It
may or may not. I can't remember.
Enoch?
Yeah, Enoch.
Is it Enoch or Enoch?
LDS say Enoch, but it's Enoch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
one of our buddies has their dog named Enoch. I was like, why do you say it Enoch? And he goes, because that's the right way to say it. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you.
Maybe,
all right, it's Enoch.
I'm not Hebrew or Greek.
So that's one piece. But then also, okay, if you're using the modern English translation of, that's getting dumbed down a lot. If you're using the King James Version, okay, Old English is hard to understand. It's a little bit better, more direct translation, but also King James had a lot of reasons for... King James
switched it.
Right, he had a lot of reasons for doing what he's doing because he's trying to justify his position.
Right.
So you need to understand, okay, the Gutenberg press, right, getting the printing press was dangerous to the Catholic Church because all of a sudden, instead of you having direct access, now you have direct access to God, where before you had to have your priest interpret the scriptures for you because it was in Latin and you don't know Latin.
Right.
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 So who is translating it? What is the reason for translating it? How accurately did they translate it? You need to get as close to the source as absolutely possible.
Right.
Especially if your argument is the word of God is perfect. Is it?
It is. We just don't know what that looks like.
Right. Exactly. And now we wonder why we have so many mistranslations and people misinterpreting and saying, well, it justifies this or it means this. This is
right. Right.
But does it?
Well, and that's where you go more down that line of, well, is this an argument of salvation or not?
100%.
You know what I mean? But like you were saying too, I mean, yes, it's a guideline for all of your life and things like that. And
I'd like to get that as accurate as possible.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But what are the core foundational pieces? We can argue about all the stuff on the periphery, but like, can we get the core of it right, please?
Right. And I believe that the Holy Spirit can reveal those things to you too. So as you're diving deep and digging into things, like the Holy Spirit will speak to you and show you and tell you. And even with, if it's like, okay, like guide me towards somebody who can explain this to me and it's a podcast or a YouTube or something, and you're like, okay. And scripture because you mentioned like the prophet with the LDS church and stuff. I mean, scripture says that if it doesn't come to pass, like even just one thing that they say, it does not come to pass, it's not true, they are a false prophet. And so therefore you cannot believe what they say from there on out.
Right.
And so it's like scripture tells you how to even pick out these prophets.
Right.
And we also have to keep in mind that Satan is very aware of scripture and the church. And you sit among demons every Sunday in that church.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to go to church and they're there.
Right.
And so it's just that spiritual discernment and guidance and having,
Well, and I was really discouraged after Charlie Kirk was assassinated to see how much vitriol there was and people celebrating his death, calling for the death of his wife and children.
Yes.
But then on social media this weekend, there were a lot of people saying, this is the first time I've been in church in a while.
Yes.
So that was encouraging. Yes. But then there were a lot of people saying, I went to church, but my pastor didn't say a word about this.
Yes.
That was discouraging.
Yes.
And then I've seen clips of some pastors that are like, Charlie Kirk was and they don't call him the Antichrist, but they basically say he's not a true Christian because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're not a true Christian.
Yes.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
And so
we are seeing the truth is coming out.
Yeah.
And we are going to start seeing things happen. And I don't remember if we talked about this in my talk and stuff too, but just having more spiritual awareness.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of videos, like, 'cause we have a family chat, some of them sent some videos and stuff of that people like laughing at the death of him and stuff.
Yeah.
And the second there was one man where he was talking and expressing himself, and I'm like, that is a demon.
Yeah.
Like people don't act like this.
No.
Their responses, the laughs, even their voices. Like sometimes, like there's a couple videos where I'm like, his voice doesn't sound like that matches that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's little things where I'm like, this is not.
Well, and like their mannerisms and everything. Yeah. All added together, you're seeing.
Yeah. Spiritual stuff.
Well, and a lot of people have made that distinction of this isn't left versus right. This isn't this versus that. This is good versus evil. And it's getting more apparent, more exposed, more out in the open.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yep.
By their fruits you shall know them.
Yes.
Right? I mean, like it's right there.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and that's again, right? Some of like the things that I come back to as my core and why there's a distinct reason I wouldn't claim Christianity as who I am, but like everything in me is Christian principles.
Right.
And it's love God, love each other.
Yeah.
Like that is the two great commandments are the two great commandments for a reason.
Right. And back to like what you were saying. So, I mean, if you love God, right, and you're in scripture, studying, doing your things, the fruit is going to express itself.
Of course.
Right. So if you love Jesus and you're doing these, I mean, it's going to show itself.
Right.
So it's going to happen.
Yes.
Right. You're going to start doing those roles as a man and wife, doing those roles as a family. And
yes.
Like they're going to express themselves.
Right.
Come out.
Right.
And it all starts by loving Jesus.
Well, and it's fun. My father-in-law, I could quote my father-in-law, and I probably will a bajillion more times in this episode alone in the half an hour we have left. But he said, if you want to make $1 million, why are you listening to a bunch of people that make $100,000 a year?
Right.
Right. Like
right.
Who's in the room with you? To whom are you listening?
Yes.
And then so why would I listen to somebody celebrating Charlie's assassination? Yeah. Why would I listen to somebody that doesn't have a family about how to form a community and raise a family?
Right.
Makes no sense.
Right.
Right. So I think that's definitely a big one, is by their fruits you shall know them.
Yeah.
Love God, love each other, right? Love your neighbor as yourself, in a non-prideful, narcissistic way. And I always come back to lilies of the field, right? Like, why am I worrying about any of this?
Yeah.
The lilies of the field have everything that they need. They're more greatly adorned than Solomon and all of his crazy. So
I know.
why do I have anxiety over anything? Why am I stressing? Like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
God's got me.
Yeah. All that's not of the Lord.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. So those are the things that definitely got reinforced.
Yeah.
In all of my searching and questioning everything about my life.
What version of the Bible are you reading right now?
I generally end up, I usually know where I'm going. And so I'll Google the scripture reference. And then I feel like the first.
Are you doing it online or a book?
Online.
Okay.
Because we've got most of what we have is King James.
Yeah.
And what I like.
I can't do King
James. I know. But I mean, that's what I was raised on, right? So like there's a familiarity there.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the apps that I go to or the web pages I go to will have all of the versions. So I'm looking, so I can look at all of them, and I can see what the Hebrew or Greek or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so I can really go, and that also helps me too when I go, okay, well, they're quoting from that. And so I understand why they got that answer.
Right.
But like you see all of it, then it really helps you hone it in.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
The parts where, and this is where I start to get like super hippie and metaphysical and all that weird stuff, is like what I couldn't answer in the LDS faith was they have this concept of where did I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going? Answered really well.
Okay.
Before this, you were with God. Right? In a spirit, in a spirit form. You are the literal spirits of the children of God. Which, side note there, I had a conversation with, I can't remember which denomination he is, but he goes, we're not the children of God, we're the children of Adam. Once you are saved, you're the children of God. Very different concept.
Oh.
Right. I mean, even that. So that's one way to look at it. Or we just are the children of God, or a much more complex answer of we're the children of God.
I don't like that one.
Right. Okay. But like a very faithful man. Right. So like, I have no doubt that he's saved.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But kind of it's definitely a different, right? That's one of those, like, this isn't a salvation question. So we can have fun debates over it, but it's not going to change anything. But then the LDS come in and say, no, you were literally with God before you were here.
He says that he knows you. He knit you in your mother's womb.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but like before your spirit was with him before you were even conceived.
Right.
And so then it's so then you come here, you get your body, live a good life, get saved. And then part of the reason they do sealings in temples of families is because you are a family together forever throughout the eternities. Most of Christendom says, well, is that Paul? I can't remember which of the letters it is, that there is no husband and wife in heaven. Is it in
Revelation?
I think it's
I haven't gone through Revelation all the way because I just have such a hard time chewing that one. Little confession. And then I get distracted.
Yeah.
Because then the art brain in me is like picturing all these weird stuff, and then I get totally distracted.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out, there's one in there that they're going to loose this thing that has the tail like a scorpion and stings people. And what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Especially if you're John and you're having this vision of the future and you can't, like, you're probably seeing cars, you're probably seeing cell phones, you're probably seeing all this stuff. And you're like,
right,
what the heck is this?
Right.
And
because remember during COVID, did you ever hear that conspiracy during COVID?
No.
Oh my gosh. So that scorpion, some people had a conspiracy that was the jab.
Could have been.
Maybe.
Right. But again, right. Like how I can see where you could interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Or it could be drones. Or right. I mean, there's so who knows? Revelation is crazy in the best way.
Yeah.
Also remember reading the Tribulation series in high school, and maybe that was middle school, and being really confused because totally not an LDS perspective of things. Like, well, that's kind of a cool way to portray the Antichrist. That could work.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Where was I going on with all that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh, okay. So LDS, your spirit, then in the body, and
so
the high ceiling.
I understand why most of Christendom, because you're quoting from the New Testament, says that husband and wife, like, that's not the way that relationships work in heaven. But like, there has to be some meaning. Like, you've picked this. I understand that this life, if you stretch your existence, if you stretch it out over eternity, you got a little point on there of our time here on earth. I totally understand that. But there's no recognition, no respect, no meaningful connection between the fact that you guys were husband and wife.
I wonder if it's because it goes back to the connection between Jesus and the church.
Right. Yeah. And that makes sense
because
too.
Now we're united with Jesus.
Right. We're all just brothers and sisters in Christ.
For that example anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And I think there's just some things that we're not going to comprehend. And God has so much more planned for us than we even can imagine. And it's just like those sayings, like you see all the time. It's hard for us to comprehend, but it's like, ask for more. Like, I will give you more. Like, it's abundantly
ask
more.
And you shall,
like,
or not asking. What is it? Not.
Yes, but people ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
But people say that wrong too. They don't read the before and afters, right? When you're aligning with my will.
Right.
And that goes back into alignment. When you love Jesus, you want to follow his will. And so therefore, yes, you're abundantly blessed. And it's not something, and it's not that whole works thing. It's not like, oh, I got to get this right. It's a heart posture.
Right.
You are loving Jesus and you do want to do these things. And then you turn more and more to want to do what he wants you to do, because then you see, like, oh my gosh, what was I doing over here?
Right.
This is so much better over here. And that's where ask and you will receive. He's going to change your heart, and it's just going to, so it's not like those ask and shall receive. There's so much more to
There's
that.
so much more. Yeah.
So much more.
You
just
need
like,
you can't just grab this one section. You're really like, you got to look at the whole thing.
Just like the whole, what is the other verse I think is, I can do all things through Christ.
Right.
Did you read the follow-up to that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a really good snippet though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But most people end up, definitely
Yeah.
taking it out of context.
Yeah.
I think a
and
lot
then
of people
missing,
too don't.
and then missing it.
Right.
Missing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why was I bringing up okay. So one of my weird beliefs that way more metaphysical than
okay. Why were you nervous to talk to me about this?
Because
I come off super judgy. I get that.
No, not even that. Just because why was I nervous about it? I don't think I was necessarily nervous. I was I respect the hell out of you and I love you.
Oh, thank you.
And I very much appreciate you.
Oh,
and so I think once you have a relationship with somebody where I have a pretty good sense of who you are. I think you have a pretty good sense of who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And none of that respect, none of that, the admiration that I have for you is based it's not because of what you believe, it's because of who you are.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And so I know the Rachel's women's group was a little off-putting.
You guys keep mentioning that.
I think that's because
you guys need to get over it.
No, I know. I'm over it. I'm over it.
More trauma than me.
I know. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of hippy dippy. And so okay, so this part of me being hippy dippy is so the LDS faith, if you one of the great questions within Christendom, right? Mm-hmm. One of the great debate points is, well, if you never hear the gospel, right? You're some far off tribe that will never receive a Bible, ever have a missionary come to you, whatever it is. Are you damned to hell or not? Right? Are you saved or are you damned to hell?
It's not my problem.
I mean, that is the right answer. That's the right answer.
That's up to the Holy Spirit, not me.
But the reason why that becomes such a weird debate point, and especially me drilling down into things, is there's a lot of Christianity that would say, if you are not saved in this life, you're damned to hell. Right? I mean, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But
that's a good question though.
Because
God calls us to minister and to spread out to the world, to spread his word.
Right.
However, who are we to think that he has the power to do all things?
Right.
So who are we to think that it really has a lot to do with us?
Right.
It does, but you know what I mean?
100%. I totally agree.
That's where
because your relationship with God is between you and God.
Yeah.
Right. And if he loves his children, because I definitely, again, in re-examination of everything, that was reinforced. Whatever created us loves us deeply.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And so the idea that, some of my kids are going to be born in North Korea and they're just damned to hell. That's unfortunate.
Right.
That makes zero sense to me. If that is your version of God, I don't think you're right.
Yeah.
But right. So the LDS answer is, well, that's why we do baptisms for the dead, because you do have to get baptized. There's ordinances, there's works that you have to do. And so if you aren't baptized in this life, you can accept baptism in the next life. You can, whatever that thing is. Okay. Well, there's a lot of learning and growing that I do in this life. There's a lot of mistakes I make in this life. And I don't think I can make all of the mistakes or do all the growing in this life.
Right.
And so the LDS answer to that kind of has you do continue to grow in the hereafter. I think if my interpretation and conversation with most of my other non-denominational friends is, no, you're saved. And then we don't know what's in store, but your decisions in this life, if you are not saved, if you are saved, that's what sets you on a trajectory in the next life. And it's eternity. So you better get it right in this life. I think that, especially being a parent, there's times where I tell my kids something and I'm trying to teach them a lesson and they don't figure it out the first time. And then they don't figure it out the second time. And then they don't figure it out the third time. I'm like, okay, I guess this is
how do you think God feels up there?
Exactly. And so I think growth is such an essential component of why God created us, why we have the experience. I think the core of everything is experience. And so one of my hippy dippy beliefs, I don't think it's just one life. I believe in reincarnation.
You do?
I do. Yeah. And again, I don't know what that totally looks like. I've thought about that in a couple different contexts.
Yeah.
But, you could even convince me that it is some variation on that theme of like, you only get one earthly life.
Yeah.
And then in the hereafter, in heaven, it is still a growth component.
What if heaven is here on earth?
Yeah. Could be.
And what if, I mean, why would you have to be reincarnated? Why couldn't that just all happen in heaven? And why wouldn't you? I mean, you are going to be, I think people just we can't comprehend how
is there
spiritual being, how much we are going to be. Why would you want to? Like, it's going to blow your mind.
So that's a great point. And I'm not going to discount that point. The thing that I would add on to the reason that I got to where I am.
Yeah.
Is because does sin exist in heaven?
No.
What's responsible for a lot of our growth? Our interaction with sin.
But why do you think we need to grow?
Because, that's actually a really good question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, so.
And maybe think about it. I don't know.
That's a good question. Why do we need to grow?
And if we're in this place.
What is, so,
we
I
do
mean,
here
that,
on earth,
that
for
gets,
sure.
That gets into, okay, so my super hippie self. If you're God, omniscient, you know everything, you've experienced, well, wait, okay, and maybe this is the point. Have you experienced everything as God? Or have you conceptualized everything as God? If you've never been man, if you've never tasted sin, you have not experienced everything.
But he has.
Well, as Jesus.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, that is probably the best counterpoint to my thought, because my thought is, if you're God and you're going, I need to experience everything.
Yeah.
Fractalize out. And this is the whole, like, we're all tied to the divine. We are all children of God.
Right.
And maybe the question to your question is, why would God create us?
That is a good question.
And the only answer that I can ever come up to with that is because it's experience.
Yeah, maybe.
And so it's kind of also answering the question of why does God allow suffering?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all experience. So even Jesus, who was tempted, right? I mean, you can look at everything about his life, all the suffering, all the experiences. Even Jesus, I mean, this is, again, we get technical because in the Garden of Gethsemane, especially on the LDS side, they say he suffered everything in the garden, right? Or on the cross. He felt all the things. He experienced all the things. Okay, but again, has he ever been that little girl in Africa that is starving to death and having a vulture pick at her? Right. Has he ever, again, I hate this example, ever been raped? Has he ever been shot in the throat from a distance? Has he ever been stabbed in the throat by some random person behind him in a subway?
Right.
No.
Right.
And so how can you, again, I know I'm getting weirdly technical here.
Yeah.
God is perfect, so God can judge perfectly. Mm-hmm. But even the most intellectual being, the being that knows and can conceptualize everything, there is a value in the experience of everything. Mm-hmm. And so why does God allow suffering? Because it's a worthy experience.
Maybe.
And so why would you have to live multiple lives? And this is where, like, I'm not really sure where, but it answers the greater question of it all, to me, comes back. So maybe I only get one life on earth.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more in heaven. Maybe it is whatever. Yeah. But I think the answer to everything is God saw fit for us to experience for a reason, and that we don't know, but it's important.
I agree with that.
And so which is also why this is maybe the most controversial thing that I think is, I don't think we need a savior, because if the point is experience, God found value in us having experience. God knew that we would, if Adam and Eve screwed up God's plan right out of the gate. We were supposed to stay in the Garden of Eden forever. Then the most omniscient, all-knowing being had his plan ruined right out of the gate by 2 humans. Mm-hmm. So it was part of the plan. Mm-hmm. And if it was part of the plan, then there's value in it. And if there's value in it, there's value in experience. If there's value in experience, the only way you experience is not having perfection, which means sin has to be included. So there is the argument then that, okay, sin was a needed experience, but we need something that saves us and pushes us out of this. And so we need to provide a savior. Or it was part of the plan. Jesus is your perfect example of how you should be and how you should be in one with God. Mm-hmm. Either way, regardless of what the answer is to any of those, I do believe that Jesus is the perfect example. Mm-hmm. And we need to live like that. And we need to be in union with God. Yeah. And the rest of it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, you do.
And my mind can go in 50 different directions at once. So I feel like I have spaghetti brain instead of file cabinets at the moment. But
but you're in the file cabinet of religion right now.
Yes. But that drawer is nothing but tangled cords. And the number of times that I've had to untangle jewelry for my mom, my grandmothers, my wife, everybody else, that analogy makes a ton of sense. And so the core truth, the big capital T truth of all of it is God exists.
Yes.
He loves us.
Yes.
Jesus was the perfect example.
Yes.
You will get further in life and have a happier life if you live a Christ-like life.
Yes.
And the rest of it, I have a lot of questions.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because God can handle all of your questions.
Right.
And you're figuring it out.
Yeah. It's the best way to say it.
You'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have, when I'm before God, I have no fear, no trepidation about him looking at me. And it's that classic, well done, thou good and faithful servant, right? Like if I'm living a life that God doesn't want me to live, then I'm not in tune with the divine. And I feel like I am. Yeah. Why can't I hear you anymore?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Because I'm being too quiet. That's good.
So I know that was a weird rant, and Brandon.
It's expected.
You guys all saw inside Brandon's head because it's yeah.
What else do you want to touch on before we wrap?
I know you got to. We got to wrap. You got a thing to get to. I don't know. Okay, I mean, you are the observer of this thing that is Brandon in front of you. What are things that you're like, how does this Brandon thing work? Because this makes no sense. This guy's nuts.
You know, I don't ever think that about people. I work with people all the time.
That's true. So you're just thinking about everybody.
So my point, nothing surprises me.
Oh,
so just like you, I hear, I listen.
Yeah.
And I may or may not agree with everything that everybody always says, but it doesn't surprise me ananymore.
Yeah.
Like nothing surprises me. It takes a lot to surprise me.
Yeah. I was watching another video of an ER doc.
Uh-huh.
And he goes,
oh God.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, you know, when somebody comes in, they either tell us what the problem is or they're like, just something private that I'd like to talk to the doctor about. He's like, that means it's butt stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes, and then we start taking bets and you know, because we've seen all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
this guy, it was a full-on candle. Yeah. One of the big ones. And right, again, no judgment, because again, I've seen all this stuff and whatever. Yeah. And he gets to the end and he goes, so I won the office pool. It was pumpkin spice. It wasn't a hard choice though, because it was October. And
they weren't guessing on if it was a candle or not. They were guessing on the scent.
Of the scent. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
But that's like the classic, right? Like, yeah, people don't surprise me anymore.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of fun to try and figure out what the weirdness is. Like, okay, what's the particular flavor of this one?
I just laugh more, you know?
Yeah, it's fun that way.
I get some answers on the intake. So I'm like, really? I'm okay.
Oh, it's so crazy.
It is. It is. It's good.
Yeah.
But what is something, so what is the question you always ask us at the end?
Oh.
What is something you want to end with? Or what
if you had a megaphone that could reach everybody?
Everybody.
What would your message to them be?
What would your message be, Brandon? Have you thought about this?
Okay, so.
Did you say it on 33?
Brittany just asked me this question.
She did. Okay. What is it today?
Today it is live the 2 great commandments. It's really not more complicated than that. Love God, because God created all of this, and it is magnificent. One of my scout leaders, every time we'd be out on a camp out, on a hike, on something, and we reach the top of the mountain, we're looking out over it. He goes, everything testifies there's a God.
Oh yeah.
And it to this day, it still gives me chills. Yes. Mm-hmm. Like, is this a sinful world? Absolutely. And you can look at plenty of examples that, well, again, right? Like, why does God allow bad things? Yeah. Look, okay, we're going away from that. This planet is amazing. The alignment of our planets is amazing. The way that Jupiter protects us from all the crazy asteroids, the way that the moon is perfectly positioned to help us with the ebbs and flows of the ocean.
Yeah.
The way that life is sustained on this planet, all over this planet. Just go stand outside on a clear night and look up at the stars and realize both how insignificant we are in the vastness of the universe, and yet we're here.
Yeah.
Everything testifies there is a God.
Yeah.
And you should love that God.
Yeah.
And then love each other. That's what I said when Brittany asked. It was, remember kindness. Like, just be kind. And loving others as you love yourself, right? Like, recognizing that we're all children of this loving God that created us, and we're occupying this space together. And yeah, a lot of the time it feels like there's a lot of differences, and we can't say eye to eye on things, and we're fighting these stupid wars. Anytime life is taken, it's stupid. What are we doing? It's the greatest gift that we have. Love each other. And like, try not to judge them and be a jerk along the way. That's kind of how that works. Like, yeah, understand that there's going to be differences and people have flaws. And it's all the advice that we gave on the marriage piece. Like, if we treated everybody that way, if we loved each other, if we love God and love each other, this world would be a much better place. So that's my message.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is it? Oh no,
it
maybe.
Is.
We'll find out how that plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be determined.
To be determined.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
This was a blast. I knew this would be a blast. I was so excited. Yeah.
Did we touch on anything you think we would or wouldn't? Or did you have anything in mind? I knew prepared.
This would get me. I knew you would get me talking the most.
Oh, I did?
Meaning, yeah, like good, deep. Because
good.
I'm crazy like that. So you get to the core of Brandon, and I greatly appreciate that. So good. And it's always a good time.
Yay.
With you. So
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Main Character Podcast. If you dig the content, please click that follow button. And if you found today's guest inspiring, please share this episode with someone you think will benefit from it. If you'd like to be a guest on Main Character Podcast, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, where I'd also appreciate a follow. All links can be found at my website, coachwithbrandon.com.